Well, first off, I thought this was a really good, hard-fought game from start to finish, and we had some things that we needed to correct from the practice that we had, and we did, and played the running game very much more with impact than we did in the practice. The adjustments that the coaches made worked out well. The players were able to adapt just in a couple of days' time, and against a really formidable running team that loves to run the football, I thought we did that really well. It was a terrific game, back and forth the whole time. I liked that the first group, got down in the first two times they scored points. Gino did just fine. Jeanty looked tough as hell and had a couple really nice plays. Bounced back from a big hit. I don't know if the other guy did, but he did, and was impressive, I thought. We know Brock can do some stuff. He made a great play on a catch he made too, which was fun. So all in all, we got a lot better today and played a good, solid game all the way through. Two turnovers again. That's the ball game. We gave him the football back, and that's unfortunate. So nice job by Daniel today, kicking the ball too, knocking all those in. That was great. I know he'd hit the game winner if he had a shot, and so I think it was a good step forward.
Pete, going back to Ash over here, over Ash and Jeanty, that 3rd and 5 where you ran the ball to him in the it wasn't in the red zone, but it was on their side of the field, and he gets 7 yards. When you can confidently hand it off on a 3rd and 5 down there, and you can get 7 yards, what does that do for the play callers, the offense, and the confidence?
Yeah, it's certainly Chip had to call it, and he called it, giving him a chance, believing that he could do it, and that the guys up front could take advantage. They're in pass rush modes right there, and so you have to adjust your blocking. But we did a really nice job. But the way he hits the line of scrimmage, he gives you a feel, and I was really fired up about that. And everybody was on the sidelines as well. Got his first touchdown, the whole thing. So, but that helps us all. Yeah.
Pete, could you please discuss your first string offensive line again? Just seems to be coming and gelling together, and just I know you haven't seen the film, but your quick assessment, sir.
Yeah, we're seeing them in practice, make progress, and I thought they carried it to the game, which was great, and we were able to protect Gino and run the ball a little bit in the first half, and it felt like we had reason to be confident in that they're doing their job. I think Jordan Meredith has done a really good job, and I think that's. Way back, if you remember, that was the competition that we were really focused on to see how that would go. And I think he's really taken that thing over and done a fine job with it. JPJ is battling at the guard spot, and we know we got a real physical guy that's fired up and helps us out as well. So the moves, I think, were well chosen, and I think we're going to benefit from them.
Right here, Pete, in the front. You guys rotate a lot of guys through on that defensive line. How do you feel about the depth of that group and what the first 2 units showed you today?
Well, there's 2 ways to look at that. These guys they're really battling, and it is a battle that is not settled yet. And so I think Robbie did a really nice job of making sure that we get a lot of film on everybody and keep moving. I really don't have any conclusion for you on that. I don't want to at this point. I just want to keep them, getting the reps, and they'll do it again next week, and they'll make their pitch for what is the depth chart order and all that. And we'll see what happens. But we like the guys. It's a good group. They're very active. They're athletic. They move well. They play hard, and so now we just need to see where we're going to zero in on it, and the competition goes on.
Pete, you mentioned the turnovers, another interception for Aiden O'Connell. Is that problematic to you at all, or it's 3 in 2 games?
It wasn't a decision that he makes in practice. He made one there, and the guy was really covered well and threw the ball to him on the breakout, and that's not one that we see him do much, but it's unfortunate.
Coach, back here at the back, I was just kind of wondering, these last 2 games have gone down to the last kick or whatever, some late game situations. How valuable is that in a preseason game as opposed to, say, a 28-3 win or whatever in these preseason games, just to have that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt how valuable those are. All of the situations and all of the times that we get to go back, reinforce the things that we've been teaching about situational football are happening. And we had a Mayday kick again. I haven't had one in 20 years. We had back-to-back weeks where we were ready to Mayday the field goal team on the field, run out there and kick it before the clock runs out. And we didn't have to today, but it's just really important. It's important to feel what it feels like to be in close games and to hang on to it. And the finished part of the game is something I take great pride in and have always, about how you do it, and how you get it done and how you execute down the stretch. And so we have a mentality about it, and we're seeing it come to life, on both sides of the football. We have to execute and do right and outlast the team that you're playing and give credit to those guys. They did a nice job today.
I reiterate, I know you haven't seen the film, but Caillou Blue just continues to stack good performances upon each day. Will you talk about his immersion, please?
Yeah, no, I can't give you much on what happened in the game today until I see the film, but he's had about 10 days now of really competitive practices and played well against the Niners, played well last week. He's just making a real bid for the playing time. And so it's like, we didn't see that in the springtime, and we didn't see it even in early camp. And then it's like the switch went on, and he's taken off. I'm really fired up for him. That's those kinds of stories I love to see guys come out of a backup situation and then work their way through it and start to make a statement. We started him today, and we thought he deserved to start today, and I wanted to see what he looked like with the first group out there. And again, I don't know how he played, but I think you're telling me that he did okay.
The first team offense obviously didn't play a whole lot, but 2 deep shots to Dante Thornton, one that was pretty close to happening. Is it a positive just to get that on film so that other teams?
No, positives when you catch it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but we're trying. We're trying to get a feel for him. Gino's trying to sync it up and get right. We didn't quite match it up right. There's a couple things I have thoughts about that, but I want to see the film again. But we're trying to use him and see if he can come through for us.